Once upon a time, in a faraway kingdom, there lived a kind and beautiful princess named Snow White. Her skin was as white as snow, her lips as red as blood, and her hair as black as ebony. Snow White's beauty was unparalleled, but it was her gentle and pure heart that made her truly special. Snow White's stepmother, the queen, was a vain and wicked woman. She possessed a magical mirror that she consulted every day, asking, "Mirror, mirror on the wall, who is the fairest of them all?" The mirror always replied, "You, my queen, are the fairest of them all." This pleased the queen greatly. However, as Snow White grew older, her beauty became more radiant, and one day, when the queen asked her mirror the usual question, the mirror replied, "You, my queen, are fair, it is true, but Snow White is even fairer than you." Enraged and consumed by jealousy, the queen ordered a huntsman to take Snow White into the forest and kill her. She demanded that he bring back Snow White's heart as proof. The kind huntsman couldn't bring himself to harm Snow White. Instead, he let her go and brought the queen a heart from a wild animal. Snow White, lost and frightened in the vast forest, stumbled upon a little cottage. Inside, everything was small and tidy, and she guessed that 7 dwarfs lived there. Exhausted, she fell asleep in one of the beds. When the 7 dwarfs returned home that evening, they were surprised to find Snow White. She told them her story, and they took pity on her, offering her shelter and protection. In return, Snow White helped with the household chores and quickly became like a sister to the dwarfs. Meanwhile, the queen discovered through her mirror that Snow White was still alive. Disguising herself as an old peddler woman, she visited the dwarf's cottage and offered Snow White a poisoned apple. Trusting the old woman, Snow White took a bite and fell into a deep, death-like sleep. When the dwarfs found her, they were heartbroken. They placed her in a glass coffin, and for days they mourned her loss. One day, a prince who had heard of Snow White's beauty and kindness came to the forest. He saw her in the coffin and was so moved by her appearance that he leaned down and kissed her. The kiss broke the spell, and Snow White awoke. The dwarfs rejoiced, and the prince asked Snow White to marry him. She accepted, and together they returned to his kingdom. The wicked queen, upon learning of Snow White's survival and happiness, was consumed by her own envy and rage, and she perished, never to harm anyone again. Snow White and the prince lived happily ever after, ruling their kingdom with kindness and grace. The 7 dwarfs visited often, and their friendship remained strong throughout their lives. And so, Snow White's tale became a legend of love, kindness, and the triumph of good over evil.